What's going on, guys? It's award season, so I thought I would talk about the newest nominations for the 2017 Oscar films. I'm here with my good friend, Mr. Bailey Hunt.
How we doing, guys?
So we're just going to go category by category and give our thoughts and opinions on what surprised us that didn't make it or did make it, and what we think should win and what we think will win, because there's a distinct difference. For Best Picture, we have Arrival, Fences, Hacksaw Ridge, Hell or High Water, Hidden Figures, La La Land, Lion, Manchester by the Sea, and Moonlight. So what out of this category surprised you that it did make it or that it didn't make it?
I'm surprised that Fences made it on the list and Silence didn't. I haven't seen Silence. I saw Fences and I just thought it was pretty good. Like, it was a pretty solid acted, directed movie, but it wasn't Best Picture worthy by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, I think if you add Fences, you have to add Silence.
Yeah.
They only had 9 films this year as opposed to 8 or 10, and I think Fences was a really good movie, but if I was to pick the top 10 best movies of the year, Fences would not make the cut.
A movie that I wanted to be on the list, but I know wasn't going to be on the list, is your favorite of the year, Sing Street. We both loved that movie. We saw it together, and we walked out of it, and it was just like such an amazing experience, and I totally think it should be on that list, absolutely. If Fences is able to be on that list, so should Sing Street.
Personally, I think that it's pretty easy to understand what's going to win. Yeah. I think everyone agrees that La La Land is going to win Best Picture.
Absolutely, yeah. What do you want to win off of this list?
The movie that would make me the happiest to see win would be Moonlight. I think it's the most important film of the year. I think it's a film that everybody should see. I think it's also a better movie than La La Land. I enjoyed La La Land more, but I am well aware that Moonlight is better.
Right, yeah. Absolutely. I think the Moonlight definitely should win. I'll be really happy if it does win, but La La Land is my favorite movie of the year, and so to see it win will be awesome, but like Moonlight definitely should get that spot just because of the sheer importance of that movie. Yeah, absolutely.
So for Best Actor in a Leading Role, we have Casey Affleck in Manchester by the Sea, Andrew Garfield in Hacksaw Ridge, Ryan Gosling in La La Land, Viggo Mortensen in Captain Fantastic, and Denzel Washington in Fences. So for this role, we were pretty concise on what we thought about this category. We all acknowledged that all these performances are really fantastic. I personally think that Dev Patel was not the supporting actor in Lion. I think that he should be on this list as opposed to actually Ryan Gosling for La La Land.
Yeah.
I enjoyed his performance. He's a nice, charismatic, funny guy. He can dance, he can sing, he can play piano.
Great.
But he doesn't give like a stellar performance, you know what I'm saying?
He's just like the charming, funny dude who's very talented. And I didn't see Lion, but Dev Patel's face is on the poster, and for him not to be nominated for Best Actor in Leading Role but Supporting Role is kind of like contradictory to like the marketing they're pushing forward, which is kind of weird. In terms of like people I wanted to be on the list, I would really have liked Jake Gyllenhaal from Nocturnal Animals to get a nomination. I thought he was incredible in that movie. His performance is
definitely one of the best parts of that film.
Oh, he's so good, and I mean all performances are great in that movie, but he in particular was just really, really good.
I think again with this category, everybody kind of agrees on what's going to win.
Yeah.
And Manchester by the Sea, Casey Affleck, he's definitely going to win. It's a lock.
Absolutely.
I don't see anybody even coming close to him. He tore down the Golden Globes, Critics' Choice, everything like that.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to go home with the trophy for sure. For actresses in leading role, we have Isabel Huppert for Elle, Ruth Negga for Loving, Natalie Portman for Jackie, Emma Stone for La La Land, and Meryl Streep for Florence Foster Jenkins. Again, with this category, I feel like all of these nominations are shaping up to be as we anticipated them to be. There's really no surprises in this. I know that there was Annette Bening in 20th Century Women. A lot of people are really upset that Meryl Streep was nominated instead of her.
Yeah.
I haven't seen 20th Century Women yet, but I will this week. Mm-hmm. So and I also haven't seen Florence Foster Jenkins. I haven't seen that, Loving, or Elle, so I don't really have much to say about this category. I do think that Emma Stone will go home with the trophy, and I think that she also should go home with the trophy. Natalie Portman was great, but I think Emma Stone was a lot better.
Yeah, Emma Stone is the driving force in La La Land. She's the one that you look to and just brings you into the movie. Ryan Gosling is good, like we said, but Emma Stone is the really, really force in that movie. She's the better singer, better actress in that movie. For actor in a supporting role, we have Mahershala Ali for Moonlight, Jeff Bridges for Hell or High Water, Lucas Hedges for Manchester by the Sea, Dev Patel for Lion, and Michael Shannon for Nocturnal Animals.
I think this category, once again, I think I wrote down who I think was going to win or get nominated at least last night before the nominations are released. And I'm not kidding you guys, this was name by name, movie by movie, who I had picked. So I was really pleased with this category.
Yeah.
I don't really think anybody got, I'm really glad Lucas Hedges got nominated. He was by far one of the best new performances and the breakout roles for anybody that I've seen this year.
He's amazing in that movie. He's absolutely incredible. And something I was really pleased about is to see Michael Shannon on that list. At the Golden Globes, they obviously nominated Aaron Taylor Johnson. He walked home with the trophy. And I think that Michael Shannon gives a more complicated performance. You know, Aaron Taylor Johnson is more like, I'm creepy and villainous, but like Michael Shannon is the more like, yeah, he's like a
solid.
Yeah. Michael Shannon. Jeff Bridges / Michael Shannon.
Here's your trophy.
Thanks, guys.
And as we mentioned before, I don't really consider Dev Patel the supporting actor for Lion. I think that I've only seen it once, but my first impression of that film is he's definitely the driving force behind that movie. So I don't really think that he should have been nominated for that particularly. But I think this category is kind of a mixed bag. This is one of the more contested ones.
Yeah.
I do think that Mahershala Ali will go home with the trophy. I personally don't think that he should, just because of his sheer screen time in the film. He's incredible for what he's in, but he is a very small role in this film.
So who do you think should win on that list?
If I had to pick, I would pick Lucas Hedges for Manchester by the Sea.
It's a good one.
I think that you had 3 powerhouse performances in that film, and that movie would not work without this kid's performance.
Right,
I think he balanced comedy and drama and just every emotion that was supposed to be conveyed in this movie. He did it very well.
And for being such a new actor, and he's on screen pretty consistently throughout the movie.
Yeah, the kid's like our age.
Yeah,
you know?
so like that's so awesome.
Yeah.
He's so great in that movie, and the scene with the refrigerator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean if you've seen the movie, but it's just such a great scene.
For actresses in a supporting role, we have Viola Davis for Fences, Naomi Harris for Moonlight, Nicole Kidman for Lion, Octavia Spencer for Hidden Figures, and Michelle Williams for Manchester by the Sea.
Dang, dude, this is like a really contested
I think that
race.
This is absolutely the best contest we have out of any of the categories.
Absolutely.
Everyone in this category could walk home with the trophy. I'd say probably Nicole Kidman, the least out of everybody.
Okay.
Everybody in this category completely crushed it. So I think everybody has just as good of a chance as anybody else.
Yeah.
I think Michelle Williams is probably a little bit up there. I do think that she'll go home with it because, you know, when people talk about Manchester by the Sea, you know, she has her own scene. When people say the Michelle Williams scene, everybody knows what you're talking about because that scene, everybody in the theater's crying. It's so heartbreaking. It's so heart-wrenching. And I think that because of probably that scene alone, she will walk home with the trophy.
Well, it's kind of hard for me because I really enjoyed Naomi Harris and Moonlight, and Viola Davis was my favorite part of Fences. Like, the scene, the snotty scenes that I'll refer to, because that's the scene everybody knows, is she's so amazing and she portrays so much emotion in that scene. But Michelle Williams, like, destroyed my soul in that in the scene between her and Casey Affleck. It's absolutely incredible. For animated feature film, we have Kubo and the Two Strings, Moana, My Life as a Zucchini, The Red Turtle, and Zootopia.
I think out of all the categories, this was the one that it upset me more because the Academy as a whole is really neglecting to recognize a lot of anime films. I've only seen 3 of these films. I haven't seen The Red Turtle or My Life as a Zucchini, but I know that a lot of people love Your Name and The Boy and the Beast.
Absolutely.
And I think that those films probably could have gotten a little bit more recognition than giving Disney 2 nominations. You know what I'm saying? Like, Zootopia is really good and Moana is really good, but Moana I don't think deserves. It's a cute movie. I love the music. I really love that. I love that film. Yeah. But it's very formulaic, and I understand that, but I still love it. So I'm just able to push that out of my mind. Yeah. But with the best animated films of the year, I don't think that really stood out in my mind.
What's really interesting about this category is, like, there's been a lot of anime movies that came out this year. You got, like, My Finding Dory, Sing, Secret Life of Pets, and, like, these are, like, I would say the top 5 anime movies besides Your Name, The Boy and the Beast. I definitely think that Zootopia is a more important film, you know? Like, people are going to look at the movie and be like, wow, that really spoke to that time period. Moana is just I'm gonna say,
it's a cute movie,
but it's great, but it's just cute. Yeah, I agree.
I think that Kubo is the best film in this category, but I think that Zootopia is the more important film because Kubo is just an awesome movie. It's incredibly well animated, but Zootopia teaches a lot of important lessons that kids should know. Great voice acting. It's really funny. It's incredibly entertaining. So if I had to give my the trophy to a film, I would give it to Zootopia, and I think that they will walk away with it. For Best Cinematography, we have Arrival, La La Land, Lion, Moonlight, and Silence. I think that this is also a category that is really contested. I think that all of these films obviously are incredibly well shot. I don't have like a surefire this is going to win. I think Moonlight and La La Land are the top ones that could win, but it's really difficult to pinpoint this is the one that's walking home with the trophy.
Hey, I think Moonlight should win for all intents and purposes. Just what they do with the camera in the movie is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
But La La Land is gorgeous. Like the scene,
the beginning of the film, that long tracking shot.
The tracking shot, even like all of the musical numbers are just tracking shots, and how they depict the Los Angeles sunset. In both cases, there's two particular things I'm talking about.
I think that particular reason where this film is set is why it will win, because they're like, oh, you made Los Angeles look so beautiful, so I think that because it's close to home. I think that's probably why La La Land will walk away with it. I personally think that Moonlight should, but I think that La La Land will.
One thing I find really interesting about this category also is that it is the only category in which Silence got nominated. Silence, of course,
didn't get nominated for Best Director, spoiler alert, and Andrew Garfield didn't get nominated for this film. This is the only film that got. I think it deserved more than cinematography. I think it also should get cinematography nomination, but I think that it deserves a Best Picture nomination. I think it also deserves Best Directing, even though the film is very long and it's not the most interesting and entertaining thing in the world. It's still just as good as some of the other films that are also in the Best Picture category.
And I feel like Scorsese's one of those directors that's like, oh, we gotta accept Scorsese this year because he's freaking Martin Scorsese. Like, whatever.
Maybe the Academy's starting to take him for granted. They're like, oh, it's not a groundbreaking film that's going to change the way we see cinema.
It's not Goodfellas. It's not The Wolf of Wall Street. But for achievement in directing, we have Arrival, Denis Villeneuve. We have Hacksaw Ridge, Mel Gibson, La La Land, Damien Chazelle, Manchester by the Sea, Kenneth Lonergan, and Moonlight by Barry Jenkins.
As we've said before with many of the categories, none of these are really surprising. The only one that we were surprised by was one that didn't get included, which was Martin Scorsese for Silence. Everyone that was included, I understand why.
Absolutely. Yeah, you get 5 really awesome movies directed in really unique and incredible ways. Manchester
they're all so different.
Yeah, Manchester by the Sea is more of like a how he directed his actors, and Moonlight is just how the camera works, and personally on that same token I think Moonlight should win this category because of how Barry Jenkins directs this movie, but La La Land probably will because that movie
La La Land, it's very important to get these choreography and stuff right. I feel like it's an easier movie to direct, but I feel like Moonlight is a more challenging personal film as well.
Right, and it's between those two really, because La La Land did accomplish something really awesome. How it did direct those action sequences, the choreography sequences, and the dance sequences. It did a really, really cool thing of doing that. So.
For original score, we have Jackie, La La Land, Lion, Moonlight, and Passengers.
Okay, this one isn't hard, guys, at all. It's of course going to be Justin Hurwitz for all, and it's the movie has to do with most of the music, so it's going to win the most music categories.
If the music isn't good in this movie,
it fails.
The movie doesn't work.
Exactly.
The music is incredible, which also in turn helps make the movie incredible and helps this movie get 14 nominations.
Absolutely.
And considering it's a musical film, it's a music-centered film. It only makes sense that this movie's music is going to win. Everything else was great, but it's no competition that La La Land is and should win, in my opinion.
And in the other year, it would probably be like Moonlight would probably take the prize home anyway, because that score is really awesome and built tension in a really, really cool way, but come on, it's La La Land,
of course.
For original song, we have Audition, The Fools Who Dream from La La Land. We have Can't Stop the Feeling from Trolls. City of Stars, also from La La Land. Empty Chair from Jim, the James Foley story. And How Far I'll Go from Moana. What is Jim? I don't even know what that is.
I don't understand what that is.
Yeah.
Out of all the categories, this category is the one that frustrates me the most. For a few reasons. One of them being... Look, I love La La Land. It's a terrific, extremely well-made film. It's beautiful. It's in my top 10 of the year. I love that movie. But it doesn't need 2 nominations in the same category. They're just overkill. It doesn't make any sense.
They're just stroking that movie's ego for no reason. Just give it one because it's only going to win one. There's only one Oscar to give away. You can't give them both, you know?
Yeah, so, and not only that, but it got nominated for another music Oscar for the original score, so I don't understand. It just seems like overkill, whereas you could give a movie like Sing Street the recognition that it deserves.
Absolutely.
But I honestly don't even know if it was the Academy's fault. I feel like it's honestly the Weinstein Company, and they're not promoting this film, and they're not asking for that Oscar.
Yeah, we've been saying
which songs like Can't Stop the Feeling, not that great, not bad, but certainly good enough for Sing Street.
Right, it got, you know, Can't Stop the Feeling got like lots of radio play, but every single song from Sing Street is better than all of these nominations. I wholeheartedly think that any song from Sing Street would have got nominated, and I wouldn't have been mad. May It Be Beautiful, See Up, or Drive It Like You Stole It. For goodness sake, that song is so awesome.
Such an incredible song. Not only one of my favorite movie songs of this year, but one of my favorite just songs in general of this year. I listen to that song almost every single day. For visual effects, we have Deepwater Horizon, Doctor Strange, The Jungle Book, Kubo and the Two Strings, and Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. This is a really tough category because all of these visual effects styles in these films are very different. They all focus on one thing. Deepwater Horizon's very realistic and you feel like you're in the movie. Doctor Strange is very trippy and very weird. It's like you're watching the film through a kaleidoscope. The Jungle Book is realistic and you feel like you're watching actual animals. Kubo is a marvel in animation. I've never seen a animated film, especially a claymation film, done in this way. It's so different.
Gorgeous movie.
And then Rogue One, you have really revolutionary work with Tarkin and Leia. Even though it's not maybe the best, I feel like it absolutely lays some groundwork and gives some studios some confidence and to move forward in doing this.
Absolutely. So yeah, like Garrett said, these are all very, very different. In terms of these movies, I think that Doctor Strange should and will get the win, but I wouldn't be mad if any of them won because they're all great looking movies.
I understand why. Like, if one of them won over the others, I would understand. I personally think, again, that Doctor Strange should win, and I do think that it will win just because it's so different and it does so many different things. Whereas Jungle Book, like I said, is just like you just have to focus on making the animals really good and things like that. Whereas Doctor Strange, it's so different.
Adapted screenplay: Arrival, Fences, Hidden Figures, Lion, and Moonlight. Okay, so fun fact before starting this category, a lot of people didn't know that. In fact, Gary didn't know before we started this video that Moonlight actually did come from a play called In the Moonlight, Black Boys Look Blue, as did Fences. It was written by August Wilson. But what I'm really curious about is where Arrival came from.
Yeah, I don't know, like, I wonder if it's a short story or what it's from. I'll have to look into that. But everything else, if they are really adapted, not really a surprise, of course, with Hidden Figures and Lion. You have movies that are based off of true stories. A lot of people are surprised that we didn't get Deadpool nomination. A lot of people are really pushing for that movie. I wish that they would have included Deadpool a little bit because I do think that is, even though it's a comedy, comedies are a lot harder to write because one of the hardest things out there is making people laugh. You know, it's such a difficult thing, and I think Deadpool did it in such a unique, fun, and smart way.
Right, and for comedies, there's way more pressure, because if you go see a drama and you don't cry, it's like the end of the world. But if you go see a comedy and you don't laugh, that movie's over. It's done for. And Deadpool is like the funniest movie of the year. It's the best comedy of the year, for sure.
I think that Moonlight will and should win. I think it's the best written and it's the smartest out of all of these. I think everything else is really good and really strong. I do feel like the weakest was Fences. I feel like Fences, if you watch the footage of the play, it is pretty much just lifted straight out of the play and put onto screen with very little variation, and I feel like that's almost a little bit of a cop-out.
And I'm pretty sure Fences with Viola Davis and Denzel Washington got nominated for a Tony that year, so awarding it at the Oscars and the Tonys is a little bit overkill, especially for that script, so let's give it to Moonlight. I think the script and from the play is different enough where we can...
Yeah, if we're just comparing realism, Moonlight feels like you're just watching a real movie, whereas Fences, you can tell that you're kind of watching like a play-movie hybrid.
Yeah, Moonlight took you through Chiron's struggles. Every single thing that he felt, you felt. And when a movie can do that, that's a special thing.
For original screenplay, we have Hell or High Water, La La Land, The Lobster, Manchester by the Sea, and 20th Century Women. If there's any category of the movies that I just look at and I'm like, I really enjoy like all of those films. It's this category. I haven't seen 20th Century Women, but it's an A24 film, and I really am not surprised if I do love that movie. But I think it goes without saying that La La Land is probably going to win this this award. I personally think that Manchester by the Sea should. I feel like Manchester by the Sea, like with Moonlight, is a very realistic film that you just watch and you feel like you're watching real life, and that's really difficult to do.
One of the things that movie did so amazingly is, like, when I was watching it, I felt like I was listening in on conversations I shouldn't be listening to. It felt like a private, intimate thing that I shouldn't be watching, what I was. And so if a movie can do that, it's really, really special and deserves all of the accolades it can get. So yes, Manchester by the Sea is amazing. But, you know, you get a movie like The Lobster. The Lobster,
such a fun, smart, weird movie.
Is awesome. It's such a great movie. I'm glad that got a nomination.
I don't think that has any chance of winning, but I'm just glad that it did because it's such a weird movie.
Yeah, and like Garrett said earlier, it's so much harder to
make people
write comedy.
Yeah,
and The Lobster does it in this way that makes you laugh and makes you uncomfortable, but you also buy into this like weird world.
Yeah. So what are your guys' picks for Oscar nominations? What do you think will leave home with the most statues? I think that we can both agree that it's probably going to be La La Land. How many trophies do you think out of 14 that's coming home with?
Oh shoot. I would say 12.
12?
11 or 12, 14.
I'm going 10. You guys leave your thoughts and opinions down below about this year's Oscars. Thank you guys for watching today. I hope you liked today's video. And if you did, click on the link down below and subscribe to my channel to see more movie reviews and movie related things. And thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.
See you next time.